video on how to put exit signs and emergency lights in a simple building. Let's go back to this building we've been working on. We already have the lights laid out and we already have the circuits. I'm going to take the grid, isolate the grid layer, and move the grid out of the way. Some nice round number, maybe 100 feet to the left. These grid lines that I put in here are 50 feet away, so that's why I went from that line to that line, and that's 100 feet. And I move the grid out of the way for clarity. So the grid is kind of not in the way, so we can see better. Let's start with emergency lights. And I'm going to use the lights that I used in the previous project that are the right scale. This is a quarter inch scale project, and the project we're working on is also quarter inch scale. So all that is here should be to the right scale. And the first thing we do is put emergency lights. Let's see what needs emergency lights. Every bathroom needs an emergency light. The whole idea is you are in the bathroom as a visitor and the power goes out and you have no idea how to get out. But what you're doing, you're caught with your pants down literally, and so you need help getting out of this room when you lose power. So I'm going to put this light in the middle of this wall. Let's see if I can find the center of that wall. It's not there. I know because these lights are evenly spaced, the middle of that room goes to the middle of the arc. So I'm going to cheat a little bit and put it on the arc. Then I'm going to slide it over to the wall, perpendicular, and I'm going to flip it over so that the light is inside this room. There. And now I have an emergency light. I could put it on this side as well. It doesn't matter. But the thing that bothers me is now the arc is too close to the light, so I'm going to flip the arcs so they go the other way. So now they're a little farther away. And guess what? I know that these bathrooms are identical. And I'm going to have the same problem when I do the other lights. So I'm going to erase that. I'm going to put a line in the middle of this, in between this wall. And that's going to be the center of the line. I'm going to mirror. So I'm going to mirror my emergency light and the note that goes with it. And these two arcs that I have to change on this bathroom. When I mirror it all to the other side, it all comes out nice and neat. And I can do that because these two bathrooms have the mirror image of each other. So that's the first place that needs emergency lights. Every bathroom needs an emergency light. There's also a bathroom here. So I'm going to have to do the same thing. See if I can find an emergency light that's already turned in the old drawing, and it isn't. So I'm just take one of these from the other bathroom, and I'm going to move it from the middle of here to the center of this wall, and then I'm going to have to turn it 90 degrees from the middle there, and then I'm going to have to turn the text 90 degrees back. That's too close to the wall, so I'm going to move it away from the wall a little bit so that the M, this vertical line of the M, doesn't conflict with this vertical line of that wall. And then lastly, I'm going to change the note so it reads upright. That's it for emergency lights. So let's go room by room. If the room only has one door, it's pretty obvious how to get out, so you don't need an exit sign there. If you're in this room and you're confused and you don't know which way to go, then we need to give you a way out. We need to tell you how to get out. So I'm going to put an exit sign right there. Let's go to this place. See if I can find one that's in the right orientation. So I'm going to move that one from that quadrant to the middle of that line, which is in the center of that door. Like that. Well, look what happens now. This arrow and this node is on top of the line, so I'm going to mirror the whole thing so that the arrow, and now this is kind of too close, so I can actually, because there's nothing up here, I can move this over here. Good. This room only has one door, so we know how to get out here. So then we go to this room. You're in here, you're confused, you don't know if you get out this way, or if you get out this way, if you get out this way, if you get out this way. Well, we want to get you out of here as quickly as possible. It seems to me the shortest route, and the shortest route is this door, because it gets you closest to that door, which is an outside door. So I'm going to put an exit sign right there with emergency lights. I'm going to show you in a second what these look like. Where was I? I was here. Look what happens. I did it again, so I'm going to mirror that so it's on the other side. And I'm going to move the fixture designation to right there. That looks good. I'm going to erase my reference line. So I'm going to show you what an emergency light looks like. Emergency light. Search. Let's go Google. Let's go to images. Let's go images. All right, you've seen them up high on the wall. They may look like this. They may look like that. Like this. The more modern ones look like that. But you've seen them everywhere. When the lights go out, this thing lights up and tells you, or so that you can see. Emergency lights. That's what That's what EMs. What we call EMs here in our drawing. These are emergency lights. Exit. I'm sorry. EM for emergency. Now this is an exit, and this is exit 1 because it's different than the plain exit. The exit 1 and the plain exit look the same, except one has a little feature. So this is an exit sign with the two heads. This is an exit sign and light combination, and that's what those are. They're all kinds of. I mean, the more antiquated lights had the dual heads. The more modern lights that look like this. Let's see if we can get a good picture of it. It seems like the interwebs are running pretty slow tonight. There's somebody who lives in my house who likes to play video games. And so the more modern lights look like that. So that's the exit sign, and there's an LED light under there. So they're a lot cleaner than the ones that have these dual heads on the side. This is a lot neater than that. But why it matters? Well, you want things to look nice. This is like in Europe. They're different. The American ones, you can get them in green or red, but the symbols are different. This one, for instance, and we'll use this. This is an exit sign that says you can go right or you can go left. And this is a little plastic cap that you snap off. If you're only going left, then you would leave this. You wouldn't snap this cap off. And if you're going straight, not left or right, then you wouldn't snap these off. So they're pretty universal in that little thing comes off. Little plastic things. Also, they come so that you're in the middle of the hallway. You can go out to either end. The back side also has the exit written on it, and I'll show you how we indicate that with our symbol here in a second. And then, these are the EMs. The ones we use look more like that than that, or maybe more like that than the old-fashioned style like that. And then these are the EXs. The one we use actually looks more like that. And then the ERs. So there's an emergency light that's remote operated. That's a light. Let's see. Outdoor emergency light. So it's actually a little light that mounts on the wall right outside the door that looks like it says wet listed. So it may look like that. I'm gonna stop clicking on things because obviously the internet doesn't want to play along. So what happens is there's EX and EX1. EX has the ability to power a remote light. So the EX is typically by an outside door, and the EX1 it doesn't have the ability to do that. They look the same, but internally one has a little wire that can power a remote light. And here's the two different conditions. Here, there's no remote light on the other side that we need to power. That's why that's an EX1. Here, we're going to need an emergency exit sign. An exit sign with emergency lights here. And then the other side, right outside, we're going to need a remote emergency head. Why is that? Well, say you lose the power and it's pitch dark right at midnight. There's no stars or anything. So when you get out of the building, you're gonna have to be able to see what you're stepping into. So that's why we put an emergency light right outside the door. How that looks, let's copy it from this